Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm NBA Jerry, and thank you for watching.
Alright, free agent I think is going to be out there for a while is Shaq. 30, whatever, he's high up there in 30s. Is it for Shaq, or is someone going to take a chance on this guy? And do you feel like he has anything left, or it's just to put people in the stands?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Tim, Shaq is in his late 30s. He's 38 now, and he'll be 39 in the middle of the season. Yes, I still think he does have stuff left in the tank. The reason why I say that is because a lot of seasons that he's played, he's missed a lot of games. So even though he's played 18 seasons, he really hasn't played 18 seasons. He's played about probably 16 seasons because he's missed so many games. I think somebody will sign him to a one-year contract. I think he does have stuff left in the tank because Shaquille O'Neal is a player like we've never seen before. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a top 50 all-time player. He's not the same Shaq, but he is a big body, and if you can play him anywhere between 45 to 60 games a season, he'd be a good reserve center for someone. And I don't mean coming off the bench. I mean reserve, saying we'll save him for the season, during the season, and then once the playoff starts, he'll be our main guy in the middle. So I definitely think he has stuff left in the tank. He's not the same old Shaq, but if you preserve him during the season, and if you're a team that's pretty close to a championship, I think Shaq, with his size, his strength, and his inside presence, may be able to bring you a championship.
What are you hearing as far as what Dirk Nowitzki plans to do? Stay with Dallas, go somewhere else? Where do you think Dirk plays next season?
Oh, that's an easy question. Dirk Nowitzki will stay with the Dallas Mavericks. That's the only team he's ever played for. He loves Mark Cuban. He loves the organization. He loves the fans. He loves the new players that he has with Brendan Haywood, Caron Butler, and Deshaun Stevenson. The reason why they lost in the first round against the Spurs, in my opinion, because those three new guys that they acquired, they didn't do a training camp with them, and they didn't know the offense and stuff like that. Remember, because they got to the team in mid-season. So Dirk wants to finish what Mark Cuban started with the new players. There'll be a really, really good team next year with that team, with the toughness. Dirk Nowitzki definitely stays in Dallas because he loves Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban is not scared to pay him the money that he deserves.
Alright, we heard last week some rumors about Chris Paul being traded. He hasn't been, those kind of blew over, but do you think that is a sign of things to come? Just a strange report that some blogger put out there, or do you think he's going to be moved? I mean, it is possible, I think, in this free agent market. What do you think happens there?
Yeah, Tim, that's a very interesting situation with Chris Paul because a lot of people don't realize that LeBron James and Chris Paul are the same age, and they came out of high school the same year, and they were in the McDonald's All-American game together. So they're really good friends, and they also play in the Olympics together. Now, with that being said, Chris Paul wants to win a championship, period, point blank. LeBron James is in a position where he can pretty much pick any team he wants to go and set up for a championship. Chris Paul envies that. He wants that as well. He loves the city of New Orleans. He loves the players. He loves the fans. He loves the organization. But he wants to win a championship. So if the team is going into a different direction, meaning in a rebuilding stage, then Chris Paul will get traded. Now, it's hard to find fair market value for Chris Paul, but the organization, because they're coming under new ownership, Chris Paul wants to really see if they're trying to win a championship because he knows right now with the roster that they have, they're not close to winning a championship. So it'll be very interesting to see what this new ownership and what the direction they're going to go to see if they're going to build around Chris Paul or trade Chris Paul to another team so we can get him a championship.
A man that's very interesting has got to be the truth, Paul Pierce. Is he going to go there, or will someone else jump in and make Paul Pierce a member of their team? He's a good leader. He's getting up there in age, but where do you think he plays?
With Paul Pierce, it depends on a couple of things. First, it depends on if Doc Rivers comes back to the Boston Celtics, because we know Boston Celtics are a great organization, a great franchise that Paul Pierce has played for his whole career. So if Doc Rivers leaves and spends time with his family and his two sons, then it's going to be difficult for Paul Pierce to come back. Also, with Ray Allen being a free agent as well, it depends on Ray Allen signing too. So what I know is two things. He loves the Boston Celtics, and he wants to win a championship. So if he feels like he cannot win a championship, he may sign with another big free agent. It depends on Doc Rivers and Ray Allen, though.
A guy that I'm real interested to see is Amar Stoudemire with the Phoenix Suns. He has opted out of his deal, and basically, do you expect him to go somewhere else, pair up with a big free agent, or stay there and hopefully bring somebody with him?
Yes, Amari's a very interesting situation because in Phoenix, obviously, if he stays, they're probably not going to win a championship. My opinion, he will leave the Phoenix Suns. And the two teams that I think he'll go to, number one will either be Miami, and the number two team will be the Knicks. Amari is from Florida. He went to high school in Florida. And Dwayne Wade definitely wants Amari to play with him. I think Dwayne Wade wants Chris Bosh first. And if he cannot get Chris Bosh, he'll definitely want Amar Stoudemire. Also, the Knicks, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but Mike D'Antoni, when he coached the Phoenix Suns, and remember Mike D'Antoni is the Knicks coach, he used to coach Amar Stoudemire. So Joe Johnson and Amar Stoudemire, in my opinion, will be definitely two people that the Knicks will look at. So in my opinion, yes, he will leave the Phoenix Suns. He's either going to go to the Miami Heat if the Heat can't get Bosh, or he'll go to the Knicks and sign with Joe Johnson with Mike D'Antoni.
All right, LeBron agency gets going at 12:01 a.m. this morning, or at least the negotiating part. You can't sign a deal till July 8th. We've heard that Bosh and LeBron basically on July 8th are going to the Bulls, no questions asked. Let's say that's not true. Where do these guys end up in your mind?
Yeah, because pretty much everybody thinks that LeBron and Chris Bosh will go to the Bulls. But this Saturday, or last Saturday just passed, LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh all sat down together to talk about the possibility of playing together in Miami. Now, if they do play together, obviously all three of them cannot get a maximum deal, so they have to take a slight pay cut. But I don't see that happening. I just think, in my opinion, that they will play for the Bulls, LeBron and Bosh. It would be nice to see all of them in Miami, but I just don't see it happening. So based on the information that I have right now, if they don't play for the Bulls, they probably will play for Miami. But if I had to put my money on it, LeBron and Bosh will go to the Bulls.
A thing I've heard of a reason why not to go to Chicago Bulls is because you're always going to be in the shadow of Michael Jordan. That to me is silly because I think everyone that goes to the NBA is kind of in the shadow of Michael Jordan, including Kobe and LeBron, which you hit on last week in your Kobe versus Jordan video. Do you feel like going to Chicago puts more pressure on you because Michael played there?
I agree with you, Tim. I think it is silly because everybody that goes to the NBA is definitely being compared to Jordan. But LeBron James will definitely be asked the question about Michael Jordan more now if he plays for the Bulls than he would if he just played for the Cavs. But I agree with you. I think it is silly too. But you got to look at it like this. Kobe Bryant plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. And, it wasn't a bad thing for him to get compared to Magic and Jerry West and things like that. So I actually think it would be good for the NBA because everybody knows Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time. And with LeBron James trying to be the greatest player of all time, I don't think there would be any other place better for him to play than the Chicago Bulls.
The last question I have is, the Knicks have been building for this year for how long? What if the Knicks don't get a top free agent? What if they don't get Wade or LeBron? What type of situation does this put them in? Can they go out and make a big trade? Or is this going to be waiting another 5 years for the Knicks?
Yeah, that's a crazy situation with the Knicks, Tim, because, like you said, the Knicks have been doing this for a long, long time, clearing up cap space, and they've done an excellent job. The only thing is, LeBron James can only go to one team. Now, I know Chris Bosh and all these other players are available too, but the bottom line is the Knicks want LeBron. And if they don't get LeBron James, and if they get a Carlos Boozer or Amari Stoudemire, it's not a total loss, but they will feel very, very bad if they don't get LeBron James. The future for the Knicks is very interesting because if they don't get LeBron, all this was almost for nothing. So with the Knicks, they're going to do the best they can to get LeBron James. But if they don't get him, it's going to be a disaster for them psychologically. But I think they'll bounce back because they got so much cap space and they can rebuild. And they definitely, can make some moves because they have such a big market to deal with. So I think the Knicks will be okay in a couple of years. But if they don't get LeBron James this season, it'll definitely be a big hit on the New York Knickerbockers. Thanks, Tim, for having me. It's been an honor to be on your show. Look forward to doing some more future stuff with you. Thanks, guys, for watching. This is going to be a historic summer for free agencies. We've been waiting on the 2010 free agent class for about 3 or 4 years now, so I can't wait to see what happens with LeBron and all these guys. It'll be very interesting. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Alright, thanks, Jerry. You can check out my show, the Kelly and A.C. Sports Report, on the YouTube channel, Mr. Kelstar. Or you can check out Jerry's show, Jerry's NBA Talk TV, with Jerry's NBA Question of the Day, on Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm Tim. See you.